So, do y'all understand what just happened, or... Hey, it's Allie. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to me just being happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. So I just finished Young Justice Season 4, and while I don't remember any of the plots at all, I do know that 1, Jason wasn't in it, and 2, there wasn't enough Dick Grayson this season. Were y'all not able to hire Jesse McCartney for like longer than like 5 minutes? What was up with that? This season was nothing at all about anything that I expected out of the show, like at all. I did not know any direction that they were going in at all during this season, and I want to rant about it real quick, so come join me. If at any time you enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe, because I make videos like this all the time. You can put on the bell to get post notifications whenever I post, though it's every Friday. And, you know, comment down below what your favorite part of the season was. Or if there's something in this season that didn't happen and you thought was gonna happen, also comment that down below. I'll start. Where's Jason? Like, actually, like, where is he? Like, I can't be the only one that when they announced Phantoms thought that Jason Todd was going to be in this, especially after the last season when they literally showed him for like 2 seconds. I can't, was I actually the only one? I cannot be the only one. And then they went so far as to mention his name like 3 times in this season and just be like, yeah, he's there. He's dead, but he's there. You think this is a game? Also, I should state disclaimer before we really get into it. I'm coming at this from a very fandom perspective, not necessarily a analytical perspective. Sure, issues with the writing and the plot lines and whatever, and I'll touch on that like very loosely, but for the most part, this is just a show that I like a lot. I like the show a lot, so I can kind of like ignore a lot of its shortcomings just because I'm too into it at this point. I feel that way about a couple of shows, like especially anime, like in terms of writing and stuff like that. Also, I would have to go back and rewatch the show to like analytically go through it. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not. So we're just talking about fandom related stuff, as in the characters and the plot lines with those characters, just to let you know. Just in case you're like, why didn't she talk about the writing or the acting, or like it's just not that video for that. Just letting you know. Anyway, back to Jason. Where is he? You can't. Okay, I cannot be the only one. Did anybody at all think that when they said Phantom, they meant the Phantom Zone? Did anybody? Because I didn't think that. I don't necessarily care about Superman or Superman like storyline, so maybe that's why. But like, my brain was nowhere near the Phantom Zone because the Phantom Zone, whatever. Anyway, it's another season of not getting Jason or Damian. They just, you know, they're forever standing there. I love how we got like a fucking like tombstone thing for him. Also, not even at the beginning of the season. It was like halfway through the season, right? Or was he always there? Because I swear to God, because they go to that little graveyard area a lot, and then they don't like have an actual like thing for him until later in the season. Am I tripping? I might be tripping with that. Either way, he was just standing there like, yeah, go girl, give us nothing. The Bat Fam and me did love that we got our little Orphan and Bat Fam moment, Orphan and Oracle. We got that little moment with Tigress's little, you know, girl boss, girl gang thing going on. That was actually really good. I'd have to say it's probably my favorite little arc of the season, just because I really liked the writing in that. Told you I never talk about the writing, but I am. I really did like the writing during that part, especially with Tigress and all that, and her becoming a leader, because, you know, that's something. Teamwork is a thing she struggled with throughout like all of the seasons, so seeing her get to be a leader and struggle with all of that stuff. And then of course Orphan and Oracle, their little Bat Fam moment. I love how Oracle was like, are you sure we don't need to call in the Bat Fam, because we do it in like 2 seconds and them niggas will be on the way, you know what I'm saying? I love that. Every time they say that, like, it gets said a lot in like comics and in shows. I love that. I do. I love that little trope about the Bat Fam. I gotta take my Bat Fam crumbs where I can get them, bro. I did like that whole arc. It was really nice. Again, probably my favorite arc, which was in the first part of the season. It's really hard to remember because there was that break between the first and the second season, but I still, like, it's the one plot line that like stood out to me and that like I still remember and still really like. So, and I love that how little we do get of Dick Grayson is really just him at the circus again. Like, why is he at the circus again? Why? I thought, like, didn't we move past that? Why are you back at the circus even for like a minute? Also, why is he like living in shambles? Like, I know he doesn't want to take no money from Bruce. That's like a whole thing. But like, why are we living in shambles? First he was a cop, first of all. And then secondly, you want to, at this point, you deserve to live in shambles. At this point, like, why? You can get money from Bruce, you can get money from fucking your little Young Justice team. I know they gotta supply you with something to live, so why are you broke? Everybody else is doing fine. Why are you broke? Why is Dick Grayson broke? That don't make not one lick of sense. But anyway, he just loved to struggle. He's like one of those trust fund kids that are like, oh, I want to know what it feels like to live day by day, paycheck to like willingly, like, you know, willingly cutting themselves off from their parents and stuff so they could just know what the other people feel like. That's what it's giving, especially going back to the circus. That's what it's giving. I also wasn't expecting this entire season B-side plot to be Santana. Like, I was not expecting that. She kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know. I didn't really care for her, like, plot necessarily. Like, I did like the Chaos Lords. I did like that arc. I did. But in terms of her personal plot with her and her father and Dr. Fate and, like, her little kids, I don't even know. I can't remember their names. But her 3 little apprentices, I didn't really care. Like, when they were going through their whole little trial things, like, I felt nothing. And maybe that's because we just met them. I saw this TikTok the other day that was literally just like me going into every like new Young Justice season, and it was Drake's Forever, which was just like, I know way too many people here last night that I didn't know last year. Who the fuck are y'all? Like, no, actually though, like, who the fuck are y'all? Like, so many new characters this season that don't get intros. They're just there, and these 3 characters, I swear to God, were not in the last season, so they just come up and I'm just like, we're just supposed to know them, we're just supposed to be like, okay. And normally I'd be okay with that type of stuff where like we're just like in the middle of it, in the thick of it, and we learn about these characters as we go. But we didn't really learn about these characters. I mean, we got a very basicness of their characters, of their arcs, of like, they all don't feel worthy to like have the power that they have for one reason or another, and then they have to go. Like, I understand they spent the most time with that one girl who has like Shazam powers. They spent the most time with her because she goes on to like become a villain for the next season. I get that, but everybody else. And then the whole Dr. Fate thing, like, y'all really trying to rope me into being a part-time Dr. Fate? Absolutely not. I would say no. And old girl was mad that she didn't get to be a part-time doctor. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to? She was upset. She was like, oh, so I don't get to be. Like, no, you don't. Why would you want to be? I would be like, you know what? I'm not worthy. Goodbye. See you later. Because I'm not doing that. Part-time a week, I got to share a body with this man and a mind. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. But speaking of that plot, I kind of wish that they connected a little bit more than they did. Like, just the whole like traveling through the Phantom Zone, and then Santana getting to see like Superboy and one of her like visions. That was okay, but I feel like in the previous seasons we've had more of like a connecting plot, especially the other C and D plots like Atlantis. I could not care. I was literally watching it like falling asleep. Like, me and Nala were watching, and I was like falling asleep as it was fucking happening. I just could not care. I love Calder. I love that man to death, but I did not care. Like, what were we supposed to take out of that plot line? We were supposed to take like, oh, Randall Savage can make clones, because like, didn't we already know that? So why and how am I supposed to care about this like Atlantis politics? I didn't. For all you Aquaman fans out there, I'm sure you enjoyed it. Maybe. I have no idea. But it also didn't connect to anything other than Randall Savage being there. Speaking of which, Randall Savage needs to die. He needs to go. I'm so tired of seeing him. Like, actually, and the whole little narration thing he had throughout I did not like it. No. I don't like him. It was actually cool to see the like narration, how he literally stuck himself in every single aspect of human history throughout the years, but I just don't like him. I just want him to go. But yeah, the other C and D plots, they weren't doing it for me. Aside from Beast Boys, which we're about to talk about, and what is their name? What is their name? Was it Hope? It's Hope, right? Ooh, Ooh, I forgot my, man, I don't forgot their name. Anyway, Halo. Their name was Halo. I forgot. Their name was Halo. I looked it up. I literally called them Hope for the rest of the video. I am so sorry. Their name is Halo. Oh my God. Their whole thing, I like that. I don't, bro. I don't know how Young Justice did it this season. I guess maybe they were like, well, you know, we may never get another chance at this again because they get canceled and uncanceled every 5 seconds. So like maybe they were like, you know what, we're just gonna throw everything at the wall. We're just gonna throw everything. They talked about fucking autism. They talked about fucking depression, suicide, like fucking grieving, religion, gender identity, sexuality, polyamory. It was all there. And I was like, every time it happened, me and Ella were like, whoa, okay. Maybe they just thought, you know, we're never gonna get a chance again. We might as well just throw everything we got at the wall for now. And hopefully we'll get another season to explain all of this. Like the whole Rocket thing and Rocket and her son, it would have been really nice to see her actually, like, first of all, I don't think they ever actually called it autism. Well, she didn't. I don't think she ever did. And it would have been really interesting for them to dive just a little bit more into it. Like instead of toothpick scratching at it, they could dive a little bit more into it, because the whole reason we could at least I could tell the whole reason why she was like pretty much in denial about her son having autism is because she understands that if, you know, that is true, he's gonna have an even harder time as a black boy with autism at school. So like obviously, like, from, like, my perspective, I could, like, understand that, but I feel like other people may not understand that because they didn't really dive too deep into it. Like, she did have that one-off line, it was like, oh, people are gonna treat him differently, or, like, blah, 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 but it's like, they didn't, like, say why. Like, why would they treat him differently? Not just because he has autism, but also because he's black, and all of that mixed together would be really hard for him to go through life. Anyway, it's still crazy that they even like had that in the first place. So like, you know, props to y'all, but we could have went a little deeper, just a little bit deeper, you know. Also, going back to Hope, was their name Hope? I'm so sorry if their name is not Hope. Anyway, their whole thing with trying to get back with Brion and Brion just not getting it, I was just like, please don't get back together. And I'm so glad they I'm so glad they did not get back together. And also, speaking of Brion, that plot line went nowhere. Am I missing something, or did that plot line actually go nowhere with the whole meta-human thing? Like, I understand it's like, oh, we dealt with a bunch of meta-humans last time, but they didn't even set anything. I mean, I guess they kind of did when he was talking to that girl, but like, it didn't go anywhere. Like, at all. Like, I understand if you were binge watching this show, you'd be like, oh, okay, I can see that this is gonna go somewhere in the next season, and immediately watch the next season. But for a show that might not even get a next season, to not have that plot line go anywhere was really weird. It was just kind of like, it's there, and I couldn't like get into it. I couldn't like be like, oh, I want to see where this plot line goes, because it was just so nothing. Like, it was really shallow, I guess. Like, there was nothing there. Like, I'm not interested to see where that goes because it's kind of obvious. So it just, I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I just don't like Brion either, though. So maybe that's it. But, you know, I just didn't like that plot line. However, other plot lines. Beast Boy. Oh my God, Beast Boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. That plot line, every time I saw him, I was like genuinely scared. Like, I genuinely thought like he was about to attempt some sewer slide, because I just didn't. He scared me. Like, I don't know if it was just the writing in that, the acting in that, I don't know, but that plot line genuinely scared me, especially when the like intervention happened. It was one of the lines he said. It was just one of those things where it's like, you know, I plan to do this my own way, and that just kind of like scared me. I was like, what do you mean you're gonna do this your own way? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? But a shout out to Black Canary for like being the best therapist in the world, and a shout out to them having that system where these children have to do at least one therapy session. What was it, like a year or so? I feel like it should be once every 6 months or so, but like whatever. Anyway, shout out to that plot line. Whew, that plot line was crazy, which I guess now we need to address the large Kryptonian elephant in the room. The main plot line, which was Superboy fucking dying, but not actually dying and being in the Phantom Zone. I actually really liked this plotline. Now, I don't care for Superboy. I really don't. Like, his plotline, him and Miss Martian's plotline was over. I didn't really care. I just like, didn't really care, especially for it being the main plot line of the season. I was just kind of like, can we move on? Can we do something else? Can we move on? I don't really care anymore, like, about that. I was just kind of like, they're doing stuff. I like the whole racism. The racism with the Martians, I like that. But, like, in terms of, like, Superboy and them, I just, especially when he was in the Phantom Zone and he was, like, reverting back to, like, his old ways or whatever. And I just, like, didn't we already see this? Didn't this already not, like, happen to this degree? But, like, didn't we already, like, get this? Like, why are we going through this again? Like, can we do something else? Like, on him, like, I just didn't care when he was like, I'm a monster and I always hurt people. I was made to hurt people, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care. You already found your humanity once before. Why are we going through this again? I don't care. But the whole thing with the Zods, that was cool. I liked that. That was really interesting to me. And so I cared more about that plot line than him just being used as a tool. I like the whole time warping, time travel shenanigans. I love that. I love time loops. So at the end, when they push the whatever the fuck his name was, the Zod that was the bad guy, when they pretty much sent him through time, and the dude with the brain pretty much like sent him to the place where Connor died so that the whole thing could happen. I liked that. I liked that kind of loop. So he's technically dead now, I guess, right? Technically, yeah, he's technically dead now, so that loop won't happen again, and we just have that girl with the eyeball, which I didn't understand that. What I don't fucking eyeball. I don't. And but I did like the whole thing. I thought it was funny and cute at the end where they were like, all right, let's hurry up and get these people married before we have to, you know, something else happens. Like, goddamn. Yeah. And that's it. And that's really it. This season moved at like a breakneck speed, which is so crazy because there's like so many episodes, but they still moved at like a breakneck speed, I think, because there were so many plot lines and it was really hard to like keep up with all of them, especially with the amount of new characters that there were. And it felt like, especially with the first part, that all of those characters, like the entire Tigers crew, just never saw them again. You didn't see them again until like literally the last episode during the fucking wedding scene, which I just, it would have been great if it was more like, okay, especially at the end with all the Zods, to be like, let's bring everybody in and everybody can fight and stuff like that. But no, that didn't happen. So yeah, it was a very mishmash of different plot lines, and I don't think I liked that necessarily. I usually like different plot lines coming together, but they have to actually come together. This one didn't. So I guess that's just how I feel about this season. I hope it gets another season. I love Young Justice way too much to like not want it to continue. It's one of those shows where I feel like, especially like think about like Justice League in those like era shows, like those just kind of went on, and not every plot line in every season is gonna hit as hard as like the previous seasons or the next seasons to come after it. And I think we need to go back to that, to just like, you know, let them do their thing. If we just let them do their thing, I think they can pull it back together. I think this was kind of just one of those seasons where it's like, we barely even got this season, we may not even get another one, so we just kind of have to throw everything we got at it and hope that like we get another season. But like, I hope if they do get another season that it's just kind of like, okay, we can focus on this plot line now instead of trying to throw 5 different plot lines at us. We could have maybe 2 or 3, I think would be really good. That all converge together at the end. Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel. Wow, I didn't think this was going to be actually 20 minutes long. Wow. Anyway, give me Jason and Damian or I riot. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you did, you're amazing, because this video was barely structured, barely scripted, but you know, thanks for watching anyway. If you want to check out any of my other videos, the very last video I did, I talked about Marvel. So if you're into Marvel, I've talked about DC in some other videos as well. Talked about Nightwing's badonkadonk. That was a fun video to do, so you should go check that one out. And you can check me out on all my social medias linked down below. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.